We were talking about how to face the multiple rounds of interviews, including
Yeah,
the telephonic interview and the group discussion part.
yeah. So, like I mentioned, Abhishek, when it's a telephonic interview, right? The most
Hmm.
important aspect is you need to be in a very quiet room where
Hmm.
there's no background noise and there's no disturbance, and you need to
Hmm.
inform your family in advance कि
Hmm.
don't disturb me for 1 hour. Quite often it happens कि 10 बार लोग room में आ रहे हैं and then you tend to get distracted. Always have a glass of water next to you in case if you're thirsty, and a pen and a notepad always, because at times the interviewer can tell you, to write down something and give him a solution. So that can happen. So these are basics. Number two, because it's telephonic, your voice plays a big role there. How are you explaining things? What is the pace? Is it too fast? Is it too slow? Because कभी कभी we all have our own accents, right? सबका एक
Right.
रीजनल एक्सेंट है, और
Hmm.
ज़रूरी नहीं कि सामने वाले को समझ में आए.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's why you have to be very careful about the pace. Are you too fast? Are you too slow? One.
Hmm.
Second, modulation. How are you very, is a, like for example, if you want to give an impact for your achievement, it should show in your voice. And I achieved it. You know, for example, and I achieved it. There's a difference. Because वो सामने वाले को ये नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है कि आप कितने excited हो that you achieve the results. So that you can show only with the help of your voice and the tonality. Idea here is not to be rude on the during the interview. So tonality should be very soft and very subtle. There'll be a lot of things, you might not be comfortable with what the interviewer is asking, so you might put it subtly. There are ways to handle those things, but raising your voice and getting rude with the interview is not going to help at the same time. You're just
Right.
spoiling your impression there.
Right.
And of course, telephonic, like it's again, very often it might happen. Network might not be strong, which we just faced couple of minutes back. It can
Right.
happen even on the mobile.
Hmm.
So you can tell the interview in advance. Today I'm in a little not in a good network zone, so my call might drop. In advance, you are bold though. Yeah, you tell him in case if my call drops, this is the alternative number. You can call me back on. So you're having a backup plan ready, so that shows the interviewer that you're very serious about all this, and you have plan B ready. So in any situation you'll have a plan B ready. That's the perspective the interviewer will also have, and it shows your professionalism. It shows your seriousness. It shows how serious you are about this. So it just goes all for you, not against you. So these are basic tips.
Right. So, and sometimes we see that the interviewee is able to crack the interview on the same day, and the next question comes about negotiating the salary. So, what
That's the
things
most
should be
toughest,
kept
I
in
think.
mind?
That's the most toughest. All of us find it. So over here again, I'll go back to my first point, Abhishek, which I made: research.
Hmm.
Research everything. Just don't go and say I want X number without even thinking and having a rationale to it.
Right.
Okay, one. Go to the Glassdoor. That's
Hmm.
one of the website. You can go and see. It will
Hmm.
at least give you an understanding the ranges, the comps that are there in that organization. Number one. You can talk to your family and friends who have worked in the organization or who are currently working. Get an understanding.
Hmm.
These are not a real time data that you can say the data is right. मैंने पढ़ा है तो आपको देना ही पड़ेगा. No, this is just going to give you a brief knowledge, because nowhere you're going to find any accurate data on the compensation. It's an averaging of the industry.
Right.
Okay, it's a benchmark for you to have that discussion.
Hmm.
So keep that in mind. Number one.
Hmm.
Then we can also we have to see what are we currently sitting on.
Hmm.
For example, I'm sitting on 10 lakh salary fixed. I can't be saying give me 40 lakhs from there. I've seen people even asking that kind of a jump, 30 lakhs. I mean, there's no rationale to that. And if the HR will definitely ask you, why do you think you're looking for this? And I'm telling you, Abhishek, the answers we get is I have planned my marriage. I'm buying a house. Why will the firm be interested in that? You tell me, according to you, why should we pay you? So
Right.
the answer would be here: the kind of USP you're bringing in,
Hmm.
the unique selling point, the skill.
Hmm.
There are some skills, which are very rare in the market. I understand them because even the firm understands that. But you can't
Right.
be citing a reason, I need to buy a house, I'm getting married, I'm the only sole earner of the family. Then it is too personal. And no firm is interested to know that. And it looks very unprofessional also. Instead, you back it with a rationale and a logic. So you will do calculation. Okay, if you're going to give me say 15 lakhs, my traveling is going to, I'm going to spend so much money in traveling. And also look at the other aspect. Besides the fixed salary, what is the firm giving other than that? Could be your benefits, could be perks, could be free transportation, could be, most of the companies, like for example, Mumbai, being an expensive city, right? Most of the firms also have a special component called as COLA, that is called as a locational allowance. Because you're in Mumbai, extra money is being paid to you because Bombay is an expensive city, right? But the moment you are moving out of Bombay and going to a city like Hyderabad, that component is being taken away. So there's
Right.
such benefits even the firms are giving. Can you hear me, Abhishek?
Yes, I
Yeah,
can hear you.
yeah. And then you have other benefits like gratuity, medical insurance, life insurance, so many other benefits a firm has as per the guideline. Understand the breakup first, and then you do your math. And then when you go for a renegotiation, ask the HR, do you see a scope of negotiating the compensation? Because at the end of the day, the firm also spent so much of time with you, Abhishek. They will definitely give that opportunity, to come back and say, fair, let's see a win-win situation, then what we can do for you.
Right.
So that is how the approach also will be. I hope this works.
Right. And how one should address the volunteering or social service aspects in the interview, if that is asked.
Yeah, of course, this is a great point, Abhishek, in fact, because most of rather all the corporates or MNCs are into CSR, which is corporate social responsibility, which is what
Right.
they're referring right now. If you're doing a voluntary thing, why not talk about it? It's something to feel good and proud of,
Right.
and as far as you're not earning money out of it, like, then you'll have to announce it to the firm because nowadays most of the firms have a policy. You can have a second earning besides the salary that you're earning, then
Okay.
announce it, because then there's some legal formalities you'll have to go with the firm, and then you can start doing it. There'll be some companies who are not okay for second earning,
Right.
so you'll have to announce it very clearly. And if it is social responsibility, it's a voluntary thing. So of course, there's not going to be any earning, but you can definitely talk about it. And it's an impressive point, personally, if you ask me. I really feel it's something to be proud of.
Right. That's actually a very uh, many times we have our in our audience people from Rotary and Rotaract also. So when a student goes in for the interview, and is it like good to mention it on the resume also, and to get that question asked, or normally these questions come up in
Not
during the interview?
necessary. At times, it might come up. It might not come up.
Okay.
It's not a mandatory they will ask. It might even not even come up, all that you know. But if you want to mention, you can mention. There's nothing right or wrong in that.
Okay. And now, if a person has a good interview or bad interview, what happens after the interview?
If it's a good interview and you're selected, go party. Just go party. And in case if you have been rejected, nothing to get disheartened. It's just a learning phase. Like I said, no failure. I firmly believe in this, Abhishek. No failure, no feedback is you never fail. In fact, every feedback is something you learn from that, right? So don't take failures as the end, the story ends. It's not that way. Like I said, reflect back, do a self reflection, go back and think what you could have done better. Take for the feedback, understand how you could improvise a bit more. Was there something you didn't understand clearly? Go get the clarification done and start your hunt again.
And if a person is successful, whether he should be immediately sharing it on the Facebook or LinkedIn, or what?
No, that is something I will not recommend, that you've got a job because you're still working somewhere. You need to respect that company also, right? And these are very professional things which you should not immediately put, oh, hey, hooray, I've got a job. No. Once you're out of the current company, professionally exit, and then when you join the new company, then you announce it, yes, I have joined. That's the
Right.
right way to do it.
And what kind of post-interview follow-ups are required if some company says, "Okay, we have taken your interview. Now we'll give you a call back, or we'll inform you, we'll get in touch with you." So whether the person should himself take a lead and call up the company and
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, he or she can definitely do that. It's
Hmm.
always good to write a follow-up email. First of all, thanking for giving the time and spending that time. Then you can ask as in a follow-up, what are the next steps? Because assuming you're selected, the HR will definitely get in touch with you and give you the next steps. Now you have to, this is the offer time. So they will give you duration. Within so many days, you'll get an offer. Post the offer, one, two, three, four steps will be taken care. If it's a rejection, ask the HR, can they share the feedback, or you can have a call with the HR and get the feedback and get moving on from there. But yes, a follow-up mail at least once it's required, so that you show the keenness, and that shows the keenness basically, than just not asking them at all.
Okay, I'm now going to take the questions that were asked to us
Yeah.
in the previous video that was interrupted. So one question was related to journalism, how one should approach the journalism interviews, and
See, journalism is a different industry altogether, right? Most often they will look for the kind of work you have done. Could be your academics, your curriculum, the kind of projects that you've handled. In journalism, and then in journalism also different phases. Like, are you a host? Are you an interviewer? Are you a reporter? What are you really doing, right, in journalism? So that is how you will have to build a base on. If you're a reporter, then your portfolio should talk about it. I've interviewed these celebrities. I've interviewed these politicians. And in that also you have so many segments like, are there Bollywood stars? Are there TV stars? It's only sports. What is that you're doing, and how are you blogging about it? Are you blogging on any websites? Do you have any followers? So they're going to check, because at the end of the day, you're going to help them brand. And if you're a reporter, of course, your communication skills will be taken into consideration. How are you engaging with the celebrity? How are you engaging with the sports person or a normal, individuals around? So it totally depends on the industry within journalism also that you're targeting. So you have to be very clear in that and have your portfolio ready and show them, this is the book of work I have done.
there was one question regarding the managerial and senior managerial positions. So
Mm.
what is the difference in approaching those interviews?
So, like I said, the leadership qualities will be always seen, Abhishek, irrespective of managing people or not managing people. Okay,
Okay.
because idea here is every job requires partnership and collaboration within the firm, within different functions, cross functions. Because alone you're never doing a job. You're working with lot many other people. Your dependencies on other people as well, right? Same thing applies for the manager and senior manager. Now there will be slight difference in two roles,
Okay.
right? So before even applying for the job, understand the job description. Now you're doing A, B, C, D. The job also requires E, F, G. Do you have those skills?
Okay.
If so, what have you done to get those skills so that you're able to present it better? Because you have to upskill yourself if you want to get there. अगर आज I'm playing as an individual contributor, I want to become a manager, and I don't have an experience of handling a team.
Ashwini, can you keep the mic closer?
Okay, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For example, if I'm an individual contributor and I want my next growth path is to become a manager where I can lead people, and leading people is not easy, even you know that, Abhishek, right? Different understanding, different thought process, different personalities, like high possibilities of getting clash if you're not able to understand the emotional triggers of everybody. So first ask yourself, are you prepared to get into that? If
Right.
yes, then what are the skills you're going to build in yourself? Write down those skills. Okay, I need to do this one, two, three, four for me to get there so that people get comfortable with me and start working with me. If you're not a people's person, you will not be able to handle a team at all. And your manager or the HR will recognize that in the conversation, because there will be some situational questions asked to you. In given a scenario, how have you handled your team in a situation of conflict? What was your role?
Right.
And if you're not able, if you've not done that in the past, How are you going to explain? It can't be theoretical then.
Right.
Theory में तो हम हर कुछ बोल सकते हैं, right? But if you have not handled in reality, the nitty gritties of it, you will not be able to explain in the interview, and the HR will ask you those questions.
Right.
So do that study, leverage yourself, get into those trainings, tell your manager the current role, भले indirect report is दे दो, I want to have that experience. Have that conversation with the manager. My
Right.
next aspirational role is to become a manager, people's manager. So you guide me how I can do that. The firm will work around with you. They will, draw a career graph for you. So that becomes your base, and then you start applying, and you get there. That is what I would say.
Right. So, Ashwini, it was a very interesting interview with you today. And it was a great learning, very insightful. I have personally learned a lot from you in case of interviews and how, moreover, how I should take the interview in future.
Thank you.
What else questions that I can ask and what I should not ask also. And the same goes with the people who are going giving the interviews. The like how they should conduct themselves, and the questions were very sophisticatedly answered by you, and I'm very thankful to you in that. I know that there were certain technical disturbances today, but it was still a great part.
It's a
So
learning, right?
yeah, 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 yeah. So thank you for joining in, and would like to share your experience and
Definitely,
your
Abhishek.
summarization.
Yeah, Abhishek. Okay, I didn't know you were interviewing me. Okay, I thought it's a conversation. And I thoroughly enjoyed it because this is one of my favorite topics.
So the topic was the interview, na?
Yeah, and I've been doing this like more than 15 years now, right? So I'm personally I'm very close to it. And it was an amazing experience. And the questions were so well articulated. I'm sure a lot of people who joined us live are going to get benefited, and it's going to definitely help. So I've tried my best in the given time, whatever the important information should go out. And I really look forward for more such conversations, Abhishek. It's an amazing platform, and I must say it's a great initiative that you have taken to get
Thank
different
you.
knowledge and cash on that. It's amazing initiative. So thank you very much for that and giving me this opportunity to talk to you and talk to such lovely audience.
So thank you for joining in, and we'll be friends will be back next week on Saturday with another episode of related to careers only. And
Yes.
so please join in and do watch us live and ask your questions. And thank you for joining today.
Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Bye bye.